Hey everybody, this is JM Hunter, and here is episode 6, I think, for the 100-day comic challenge. And as you can see, I've got some different headgear on this time. It's basically more of a headset. I don't have a camera on my head this time, so I know some of you got a kick out of that. And what we're working on is, again, the character concepts and just trying to figure out these characters or the multiple projects that I'm working on. So I've got two cameras going, one on me as I talk about it and the other one on the page. Still getting the hang of it, but at least you can see some of it this time. So let's just start drawing. Basically, the project calls for a 80s style punk character, and so Google is your friend. So a couple Google images, and I was able to come up with some looks and just kind of hybrid them all together. Now I'm working on a model sheet basically here. I've got the back, side profile, and then this will be the front or quarter view front shot. Normally I would normally work left to right, but in this case I went backwards for some reason. Maybe because I was more concerned with shooting from the back, which actually didn't come out that bad. So I don't know. Maybe it's just ass backwards day today. I don't know. So right here, I'm not really happy with this pose, so I'm going to stick with it. I'm just going to see it through, and we'll go from there. So, and clothing and folds and all that type of stuff are always tricky. Some people do really well with them. And like anything else, it just takes practice and having to, dedicate yourself to studying them. So if you don't like what you see here, just rest assured I am working on it, and I will be trying to figure it out. It just may not happen overnight. But then again, I didn't get into this to try and finish it all in one day. This has kind of been my whole life's journey, so that, and I'm not really good at anything else, so there's some smartass out there saying, yeah, well, you're not really good at this either, so, but, yeah, I'm not going to sell insurance anytime soon, so. Okay, so if we're going to try and match, let's put some spikes. Let's take it back to the 90s and just add some spikes. I'm kidding, this is more of a style from the 80s. And I'm using the Color Ace, basically blue lead pencils. I've just gotten used to kind of using them, trading. I switch between regular mechanical pencil and the blue lead just so I can I don't know, it really depends on what I'm feeling like that day. Also, normally people use the blue lead and then with the intention of going over it with a darker lead or a softer lead to get a darker, regular graphite look or whatever you want to call it, to darken everything once they're done planning everything out. I sometimes just scan in as they are and just ink on top. So I'm still experimenting with different approaches to see what works for me, especially as I start to acclimate to more of a digital, traditional hybrid workflow. So in these, I'll probably scan them in with a blue lead, show them off to Bob. Bob, Space Show and Back Porch Comics. That's who I'm working with for this pitch, and see what he says. And if he's cool with it, then we'll continue on. Or if he suggests, yeah, let's go ahead and get that darker lead on top of it. Just to kind of really get a better look at it, and we'll do that too. And this is just one of several model sheets I'm working on. Bob doesn't want me to overthink it, and so that's what I'm trying not to do. But sometimes that's just how my brain works. To get from point A to point C, I have to go to point B, B minus, etc., etc., etc. So let's see here. Adding some chains. I'm going to save the head for last because, and as you can see on this one right here, I kind of have a little bit of an idea of what the head I want, but I'm not really sure what kind of hairstyle I want to go with. Whether it just be spiky and spray it up, or if I want to go with the mohawk. I know it's easy to default to mohawk and punk and all that, but I mean, there were other hairstyles and other looks back then. And sometimes I don't like using the blue light because it just feels too soft and like having to press really hard in the paper. And this is just regular printing paper at 11 by 17. And I have a heavy hand as it is, so I tend to carve into my stuff. Okay, so let's work on this guy's ammo belt right here. It usually takes me a few passes to get a character down, so if you've seen someone work in the past, you'll see how I'll do like 8 to 20 versions of the character. And they'll all pretty much look like crap until I finally get to that one, and it's like, ah, there we go. Okay, legs. Legs are always fun. Not really. Yeah, let's give him a hole. Okay. Let's see, spine, curvature right here. Okay, so I don't know, what do you think, butt cheek right here? Yeah, let's go with that. One of these days I'll get back into going to life drawing classes just for more practice, but right now life's just too busy. The kids are older, or all in school. Hopefully you can hear me better too. I've got this headset on. We'll see. I guess we'll find out when we play it back. Contrary to Pete Hernandez's belief, I don't have a camera shoved anywhere else. Excuse me. I don't have a camera nor a mic shoved anywhere else. Pete had a good old time busting my balls yesterday when everyone saw what kind of setup I had with my webcam. So I was hating this earlier, but I'm not hating it so much, maybe because I'm doing my usual over-rendering. So that's kind of been my default, and one of these days I do need to work on that, but when in doubt, over-render the crap out of it. And hands, ugh. So I'm just going to block them in this time. Yeah. Been working on studying caricature books from some of the guys that are awesome. I like Tom Richmond and whatnot, and some of the other impact books for the drawing how-tos, and some of the things I'm picking up from them, as well as even like Tom Hart books. Tom Hart runs a creators workshop out in Georgia, I believe, and he's written a lot of how-to books, and they're good entry point books for people that really don't have any background in drawing or just want to kind of see how it's done. But as you get more advanced or more into it, then sometimes you gotta just look at other places also to add to that reference library of yours. And of course, life drawing from life, drawing from realistic stuff, just photos, is usually a tried and true method. Probably most would argue the best way to learn. But when you don't have that on hand necessarily, or you have kids that can't sit still long enough for you to draw, and your wife won't pose for you, then you kind of just have to go with what you want to come up with. So we're just going to block the hand right here, and I've got fingerless gloves on him. Okay, so I want to get that gnarly pose going. Let's see here. My pencil's getting dull. Let's see. I don't like to really switch in between, but I kind of want to fix that eye real quick. Yeah, that eye's gonna get away as I can tell. Those with me doing videos and screwing with the eyes lately, I don't understand. So the story that we're working on, or the pitch that we're working on, is called The Spoils. So right here, I kind of went with a band logo, a little target, bullseye target for the O, and just had it safety pinned to the back of their leather jacket. There's patches and things like that, where customizing your own gear basically was a common thing for that type of scene, genre, group of people, whatever. And we'll thicken that in later on. So I'm just trying to get the look now. I hate that. That always happens to me. Okay. And if you can see the feet here, I'm so waiting until the very last minute to do the feet. That's a weak area for me, but I'm thinking Chucks, some Converse, some type of Converse for the shoes. I don't know. I'll have to do some more research for that era, see if that's what the wore. I mean, I was born in the late 70s, so while I was around in the 80s, I was still a kid. And then the only punks I saw were at Disneyland in Orange County and on TV, different 80s movies, John Cryer movies and stuff like that. Brat Pack. And then when the punk quote-unquote revival came around again, I wasn't really listening to that. I was more into grunge and stuff like that, and metal and everything like that. And I would listen to older punk groups that were from the late 70s and 80s. I always dug those, and I still do. That's usually on repeat, so. But, I don't know. Here we go. And I'm just kind of over-rendering just for the hell of it, so. My daughter has this Elsa doll that just keeps blaring and let it go, so I've got that song stuck in my head. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here trying to draw punkers. So, I'm still going to let the head rest. I'm not ready to do that one yet, because there's some different things I want to do to it. But, so I think we'll stop it right there, and hopefully you're able to see that, with the new webcam setup. It's not a new webcam, it's just a new setup. I found a tripod instead of my skull. And I'll keep working on it, trying to figure out a setup to where you can actually really see some of these images. Maybe when I eventually get that digital flow down where I'm drawing within the computer or an interactive tablet, that'll solve some of the problems. But I still don't want to abandon tradition, because like I said, that's my bread and butter. That's what I'm used to. Okay, I am JM Hunter. This is episode 6 of the 100 Day Comic Challenge, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.